Hello, happy weekend, everybody. Welcome to another live session. I'm very sorry, I'm pretty late today. So, as usual, as we connect, let's take these few minutes to share while we have like a music break. Connect, let's know where you're joining from, and please also do it to share with your loved ones. Please let me be sure everybody can get me clearly. Let me be sure my volume. Let me know that in the comment section. Happy weekend, sis. Happy to have you connected today. I'm so sorry for coming late. It's being loud in the background. So Paul and Apollos. We all know copyright, or we have no copyright intentions for any of the song we're playing. Okay.
I've been thinking a lot about the unimaginable situations humans have.
Sending love to you too, guys. As welcoming everybody. Oh, you see, my network too is not the best for. Okay. Really? Modern network. Welcoming everybody. Hey, welcoming bro. So as usual, if you want to join on the screen, just let me know. Happy New Year in advance to you too. So if you want to join the screen, if you want to join the conversation, just let me know. Send the link. So as we welcoming everybody, as we come, let's do our best to share with loved ones, tag loved ones. This is a powerful conversation. So I know definitely a lot of us will be blessed and we'll have a lot to take home today. And we are going to start 2024 different from the way we've been starting the previous years. Oh, okay, no problem, sis. Welcoming everybody. Let's know where you're connected. Okay, Sis Martha, I see you coming. No problem. Let's just keep through. Together as Hello, sis. Welcome and happy New Year. Yes, it's Susan. So we are just giving few minutes as usual for those who are sharing to share so that we all can. No copyright infringement intended for the song. This is one of the songs I really, really love. It's titled Paul and Apollos. It's composed by Inji Victor, Cameroon. So it's all about if you choose to be God's servant, what it's all about. The scriptural backings for those who like to know, it's First Corinthians chapter 3. Welcoming everybody, few minutes to go. Happy weekend, everyone. Welcome in. How is everyone doing?
And then I switched.
Okay. One more song to go. And this one is dedicated to all those who are going through a tough time, though we celebrate this moment, this season, and we are thankful to God for bringing us this far. Obviously, some people may be at a funeral, I just watch it. I think how can I say it? Apartment or flatmate who was buried today. So that's life. It happens. It's difficult for a family like that, losing a young person like that. So for all those going through difficult moments, this other song is actually dedicated for you. Let me confirm the title of that. Yeah, it's strong. Few minutes will be there. Okay, good.
Are you going to let the greedy heating company?
So, guys, let's know all those who are watching where you're watching from as usual. And please do not forget or do not just sit there. Do your best to share with a loved one because, as I said, we want to start this year different from how we've been starting the previous year or how we started 2023. So, we want to start 2024 in a very different way. And that's what intentional living is all about, checking out different things and for creative and independent minds. That's what it's all about, having a creative and independent mind, checking what you've been doing and looking for different ways in which you can do it. So today is different. I'm going to follow this particular sketchy particular. Now what? The title of this one is Be Strong, still composed by Inji Victor. copyright infringement intended for this song too. Hello, welcome in everybody. So how are we all doing? As I said, this particular song is dedicated for all those moderators sometimes. It's sometimes difficult, but we all have to be strong and courageous because it's part of life. Like, we have good times, we have difficult moments, and in these moments like this, sometimes all we need is that those words of encouragement. So no copyright infringement intended. So as to connect, if you can share, please share with your loved ones. You can tag someone, tag the person. So we are starting immediately this song finishes. So we start in a few seconds. Welcome in and Happy New Year in advance to everyone. So as we come in, for those who are just joining, please make sure you're sharing with your loved ones. So for those who are joining in, immediately songs start, we will get started.
Starting tomorrow, this odd rice hack can
Please,
change your
there you go.
life and help you drop.
Finish my song. Cool. Okay. No copyright infringement intended. Don't be afraid, for the Lord is with you. He will lead you all the way. I'm courageous. And do not be afraid, for the Lord is with you. He will lead you all the way. Okay, hello, greetings everyone. It's been an amazing day, an amazing year by the grace of God. For us today, I want to start by thanking God for grace. For us to be here, to be alive is something we take a lot for granted. For us to be able to talk is another thing we take for granted. And for us to have an amazing family like this, opportunity also to share with each other, irrespective of our locations, irrespective of where we are, to share in this platform. So it's something we also take for granted. So I want to thank God for all those things, which may look sometimes like very little, but they are awesome. And sleeping and getting up this morning is still all by God's grace. Having this opportunity to have information, grace to share, are things I really specifically am really grateful for. Like each day having a new idea, having a new topic, and having that courage and grace to put them together, and having people who are always willing to hear and share with you. I really thank God for that, and also thank God for amazing people like you who always spend time with me on Saturday or with us on Saturday. For those who are joining this family for the first time, and this is the last section for the year 2023. So that's why I say I had to start by really acknowledging the different seasons and phases we are in our lives. So I have to identify that we are celebrating in some definitely are celebrating in different ways, and we acknowledge you all and we all, and these are different spaces, different journey. But again, we want to say this is a new beginning, right? It's not totally sad. Um, I am one of those who really believe that whatever you go through is a way God equip you for the next stage. You may see so tough, like you don't get it, you can't figure it out. You don't even know why it's happening, but trust me, with time, they say time heals a lot of things, not just heal, but time reveals. We focus more or we just want to get over the feelings, but I personally have realized that if we don't just get over the feeling, but we'll go through it and we'll try to figure out and get the message in that season, we will get a lot of revelation, have a lot of message that will help us for the next stages. Thank you all who are connected. And thank you all who shared this amazing message. I said today's about a special one. So definitely whatever season you are in your life or whatever you've gone through this year, these past years, definitely the things are going to help you to navigate 2024. Sometimes we just want to get, I know some people are already in 2024, right? Some people are already like, I'm in the new year, I want the new year, I want new things. Some people are already like in that first mood, I want to eat, I want to celebrate, it's a new year. Yeah, wherever you are, but it's so amazing to know that um, God has taken us through different seasons to equip us. It's not to break you; it's actually to equip us for the next season, that is next year. But the question is, how many of us even have really identified the messages or have been able to understand the messages that were given to us in the year 2023? So this session is about us not just hurry to finish 2023, but to take our time to plan and make sure we move. We don't just run into the next year. There's something about the way we move. Guys, when you run and when you move, when do you have a higher probability of falling? Where are there higher chances of you falling? Is it when you're walking or when you're running? So let me get that in the comment section. For those who are joining us, You're blessed, you're journey on time, you're here for a divine reason. It's not just a mistake or not by chance that you just click and you saw this amazing program. It's creative and independent mind. And it's if you're watching from YouTube, it's all about brightest light, you are a light. If you're watching from my profile, that is brightest Lu. Lucy means light. My name is Lucy, and I choose to be the brightest of light, not just light, which is the meaning of Lucy. I believe too, it's not just me who's a light. I believe everyone is a light. And for the first song we play, that is Paul and Apollos. It's just about telling us that we all are blessed in different ways. We all have different gifts. So many times we want to downgrade people because of what we can do, they can't do. I'm not in that community of people. I'm one of those who really believe that every one of us is unique and amazingly blessed. And we all have to come together with our differences, being weaknesses to help each other, because there are things honestly I can't do and I find it difficult to do. But of course, some people do it without stress, right? Welcome in, Gilbert, and happy new year to you too in advance. So wherever you're watching us, we are one family, irrespective of your culture, your religion, your denomination. We are one people with different gifts coming together with different ideas, different backgrounds, different interests, different priorities coming together to talk to make our light shine brighter and brighter each day. So, guys, I asked a question. Let me say that. Let me see your thoughts in the comment section. My question again was, when you're running and when you're walking, when do you have a higher probability of falling? Is it when you're walking or when you're running? When do you have more chances of falling down or hitting yourself somewhere? Is it when you're walking or when you're running? So, guys, as usual, let's keep the comment section popping. I love especially those who always watch from creative and independent minds. I understand so this is journey will bring like this is our second year, right? So we should definitely be celebrating the anniversary of creative and independent minds. So it's been an amazing journey that will come here every Saturday. So guys, if you're joining for the first time, it's not only today, it's a recurring event. It's every Saturday, the same time as you tune in now. Just mark the time, but no, today we started late. So we normally start at so at now I have so let's say we started like 45 minutes ago. Normally that's what it's supposed to be 45 minutes ago. I'm trying to be sure that because I have a different time, so I changed location. So, guys, let me know all of us are still watching by seeing all of us active as we do it in the comment section. So, everybody, if you're walking or you're running, when do you have higher probability of falling, chances of falling? When do you have higher probability of falling? Is it when you're walking? We don't know. If you don't know, you can say maybe I'm not sure. Okay, let me also put it relative to a car. When a car is running at a lower speed and when a car is running at a higher speed, when do that car have a higher probability of having an accident? Is it when the speed is lower or when the speed is higher? That's basically the same question. So if you understand, you walk in and you run, the main difference between someone who's walking is increasing speed, right? You increase your speed, but you're making the same forward steps forward or moving in that same forward direction, but in a higher speed. Physics people will say velocity if you're considering a particular direction. But if you're not concerned about the direction, you say speed. But if you're concerned about the direction and magnitude of the or distance moved, then it's velocity you're talking about. Okay, thank you. Someone said one can fall easily when running, and that's honestly my opinion. Thank you so much, Gilbert, for that. That's basically what I think. A lot of times I've realized one mistake we all do a lot is trying to run into the next season. How many of us agree? Like we all, when you're in a season, mostly when the season is not favorable, you just want to get into that next season. How often do we do that? And how many of us even see that like it could be a challenge, it could be a problem, it could be us missing key information. I always use this amazing example of King David. King David was a shepherd. Of course, King David did not start talking to God when he became king. All of us know, oh, God, it was like a man after God's heart. And everybody said, I want to be like David. But before David got into that season of being a king, he had a season when he was a shepherd, right? How often do we look at stories like that? Because everybody wants those juicy part, those good seasons, but there's always a journey, there's always a story. Before he became a king, before he became famous, before he became great, there was a season when he was just a small boy, a very young boy, taking care of sheep in the farm somewhere alone, nobody there to help him, and even his parents, family, brothers sometimes forgot he even existed. There was that season. So nobody really had him as a priority, or some people didn't have him as a priority, not to talk of listening to him, whatever he says. So you may be in that season. What are you doing in that season? Are you just waiting to move to the next season? Or are you making use? Are you equipping yourself? Because the courage Jerry had meeting Goliath is because he had met some lions somewhere and like, if this lions didn't do me anything, trust me, you're small. It's not your size that going to is going to scare me. So he had built in some tolerance, some courage, some boldness in him while in the bush or in the farm or in the field. So the question to us is this what we always do, or do we hurry into the next year? So let's talk about this year. How has 2023 been to you? How have this year, has it been a very fruitful year? Has it been a difficult year? Take out these few seconds to reflect about it, because the reason most of the time we want to watch into the new season is sometimes feeling like this present season is really overwhelming. It's like there's a lot going on and I don't understand. I just feel like once I get to the next season, the next place, the next location, the next level, I'm going to figure it out. But the truth is, it's not always like that, right? You get to the next level, it's like, oh my God, it's having its own package, it's having its own, um, of course, it has its own opportunities, new people, new things to learn, and of course new level new this person Mr. Denzel Washington said each new level comes with new devils. So I learned from that a lot, like each new level, and it's when you understand that each new year is a full package on its own, package of difficulties, package of opportunity, package of new people, package of new environments, new season. You don't even know if the climate is going to be exactly the way it is this year, right? The climate alone is a problem to people, right? You don't know exactly if the car you have will still be good next year. Of course, you don't know if the people you're staying with, they will still be around next year. Those are reality that, oh, we don't really face it. So we just want to get heavily into the next year. So this year, I just want to say, if you're watching us at this time, be patient, because of course this year we all want to transition powerfully, intentionally, by grace into 2024. We don't want to just wait for it to come and just eat the food, dance, and after February, we forgot that we're even in the new year, because there's nothing that has changed. We just run into the new year the way we've been doing it without doing anything different rather. So if we want different things, we have to make different steps. If we want to change a result, we have to change something. This year has been a tough one with lots of lessons. Awesome. I like people ending like that. If you just say it's been a tough one, I mean, that's what you're saying. You see just the challenges, but I like the way you earn it, Gilbert. You say this year has been a tough one with lots of lessons. And that is the truth for so many of us. It's been tough in different ways. When we talk about tough, it's relative. Some people it's because they lost someone that they love so dear. Some people it's because maybe the person they love most that was with them last year is not there now. Some people it's just being financial stress. Some people it's just being employment. So irrespective of where you are, just know that it's not tough for you, and it's tough for many of us in different ways. Some people you admire so much. Maybe the doctor told them that, oh, you have just 10 more days to live. Guess what? It's not funny. It's really tough to accept it first, then to go with those last days. So it's very important we all tell ourselves the truth that it's not just tough for you, it's tough for each and every one of us. But guess what? In different ways. And the toughness of last, you may think it's just to you, Gilbert, but to be honest, it's been tough to me. But I know, of course, it's tough for a lot of us. my toughness is not the same with another person. So I can't feel bad to say, oh, it's been tough just to me. Because I understand we all are in different seasons, we're going through different things. And guess what? How I maneuver this year, or how I went through and took the lessons as Gibbon said, I put it in mind that in every season there was a message. So I focus more on what is the message. And to me, it wasn't as tough as it used to be like the previous years that when something is tough, I'm like, oh my God, let this season just pass. So that's why, to me, I'm very passionate about this topic today. Thank you all. I see amazing people now active in the comments. Greetings to all creative and independent minds. That is from Omar. I know some people may be watching on YouTube, some people may be watching on Brightest Low, which is my personal account or profile. So may not see this other message. That's why I do my best to read. So from Omar, I'm also greetings to all creative and independent minds 2024, a year of consistency. Thank you. His year of consistency makes my year to walk in the light of God. You see how it goes? So you may think consistency. What is about consistency? If you choose to be a light, you don't start shining your light in January and you dim by December. So consistency, we need to keep shining the light. And if you want to shine your light in 2024, of course, you need to keep going, right? So I love to hear that that is your year of consistency. So guys, let me know for everybody connected. 2023, what year was it for? For those who move and live intentionally, of course, every year you have a powerful message that surrounds whatever you're doing. For me, 2021 is, 2023 has been my year to walk in the light of God. And it's, of course, challenge, which means that some things I could just do because I feel good to do, or because that's what is easy to do. That's what. But now I have to ask myself, is it in accordance to the light of God? And that's why 2023 in general was a little bit tough for me, because there are things I know, oh, this is a simple way to go. But God is like, no, that is not what I tell you to do. And trust me, it's not easy. But it's very worthy, and at the end of the day, there's so much joy and peace in you doing the right thing. Bernard Ebai says, greetings to you all. Vicky, happy New Year to you too, says, thanks everyone. So yes, that is just the space I want everyone who's connected. As I said, just be very patient. Even if you have your phone on the gas, you can switch off the gas for a few minutes. Let's have this amazing conversation. Because I know if we all are intentional and still to the end of this conversation, we would definitely not start 2024 the way we've been starting the previous years. Just taking like typically, as I always say, like the old say, if you hear me say something, I say a lot of people Christmas Eve, no, not Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, they're in church for God to do miracles that day. And trust me, Christmas Eve is always the most populated service. Like any church you go, any people would like after the day, people don't go to church. Why do people go to church? They believe that they are going to pray that day and some miracles will just happen in 2024. But I'm telling you the truth, God does not work like that. God does not work because you are anxious. God does not work because you're in a position that you're like depressed. That's not how God works. So we have to tell ourselves the truth that before we see a chicken or a chick, what happened? There was a season that the egg was hidden, right? There was a season for it to hatch into a form like a chick that we all can see and say, oh my God. So there's a season that people do in the background that we don't see. It's not just the prayer. There's a part of work. So if you pray and you just pray on the 31st and you go and sleep and things will automatically change. Trust me, it is not like that. It doesn't go like that. How many of us agree, by the way? So I've seen a lot of amazing people active with us, and I'm sharing with us that this is always a discussion that you can feel free to share your thoughts, what you think about what I'm sharing in the comment section. Or if you feel like you want to join me on the screen, I'm always blessed to learn from different people. So just let us know in the comment section. If you have my number, I don't know if I'm really going to pay attention to my number, so I prefer the comment section. Just let us know in the comment section, because my number is not going to be the best for now, as I may not be checking my messages coming, just not to be distracted. So we all definitely want something different for this year, for this amazing year. Are there people who don't want anything to change like the way it is? Because sometimes when things are good, you're like, God, it shall be permanent. There's this comedian who say when things are good, the time also is like it shall be permanent. No copyright infringement on this song, for those who know it shall be permanent. What the Lord has done for me. So, but when things are not going well, they say the type of songs we sing is like change my story. So, are you in the position of it shall be permanent, or in the position of change my story? Let me get in the comment section. Where are you? Are you in the choir that's singing? It shall be permanent. It shall be permanent. It can be in different areas. Also, I look it in this way for me. Yeah, it can be specific things that you want them to be permanent, of course, but it may also be specific things, other things that you want changes in. So overall in life, are you in the position now, not just in specific things, overall in life, are you in the position like, God, just let things be the way it is, or God, I want to go higher and higher and higher, and so keep changing, keep me growing higher every day. Let me know where you are. And also, guys, let us know when you're watching. That's how we connect with each other. It's a family. It's not just a regular talk session. So let's know where you're watching for. So personally, I'm always in this space of I want to keep growing. I want to keep learning. I want to keep moving. So I can be in that position of God. It's finished. It's okay. Let me stay, and when I look about those who are in that space, and I think if you're a creative mind, you obviously be in that space of wanting to keep evolving, wanting to keep doing new things, try new things. Actually, a lot of new things that if like there are a lot of things I could not do last year that I'm grateful to say I can do them. A lot of things I could not do maybe 5 years ago. So for me, that's what life is all about. It's all about us keep changing, keep evolving, keep learning, keep moving, keep like meeting new people. Every day you meet a new person, the person has his own goals, priorities, way the person sees life, and the way the person goes. So for all those who are oh, thank you, bro. Daniel, it's been a while. Thank you for joining. So, my question for those who are new, I like to ask question because I feel question is one of the way we can interact one on one. It's a way you can get more into people's mind, or it's a way you can know more. Sometimes someone can say, "I'm good," but if you ask like what are you good about, you get more why the person says I'm good, and maybe it's not going to be exactly what you were thinking. So I don't like to assume. That's why I like to ask a lot of questions, not to assume that we're on the same page or we send the same thing or we have the same opinion, the same. So I just like to hear different people. So please, let's go. Let's keep it popping, and please, I still want to get more people on the screen if possible. So optimization is a process some of us implement daily. Like I think some people who like optimize stuff every day or optimize the process. Mostly if you're in a manufacturing company, definitely you must have heard about the word optimization. If you think about upgrading a phone, you're optimizing something. So if you think about what is the difference between iPhone 11 and iPhone 12? It's an optimization step. They have optimized something. If you think about what is the difference between this version of the same phone that was 2013 and the version that is in 2021, what is the difference between TikTok what last year and TikTok this year? What is the difference between Facebook, the platform many of us are using now, and the Facebook that they did not have the means or the possibility of you doing video calls, live sessions like this, and this Facebook now that everybody can just put on the camera and go live and talk with for free. So when you think about that, you think about a series of optimization steps or procedural things that have been done. So my question to every one of us, specifically to you, when you hear the word optimization, what comes first to your mind? We keep it simple here. We don't use any jargon, so that we all can be on the same page. We all can understand ourselves. That's the essence of communication. So we speak in simple language that everybody can understand. So my question to everyone connected: when you hear of the word optimization, what comes to your mind? And what is the very first thing that you think about when you just hear the word optimization? As I said, a lot of us do it, but sometimes you do things. The difference about somebody who is intentional and the person who is not intentional, the person just do some things like reflecting, not even process for the person who's not intentional. Like doesn't really take time to figure out. But someone who is intentional, trust me, the person asks questions like every day, like every minute, there are new questions popping in. Like, oh, why am I doing this? What's I doing? Can they do it? Can I do it a different way? Like you're always in that space of asking questions. So, guys, when we talk about or when we hear the words optimization, what comes first to our mind? If, by the way, you're going to use one word, what word will you use? Or if you're going to define it with using multiple words, what would be a simple definition of optimization? Today, I didn't use any dictionary to check this one, so I just wanted simple. What would be a very simple definition for optimization? And by the way, if you like this topic of today and you like what we've been doing on this page, let's see some hearts. And also, this session, I want it to be an opportunity for us also to share on what this program has been doing. If you like it, if there are things you feel we should do more next year, please feel free to share that in the comment section, or you can also send me send me or the page a personal message. So me, that is depending on when you're watching. Feel free to share with us. That's what optimization is all about for me. It's about improvement. So for me as a person, when I think about optimization, I think about improvement. And improvement, we can improve at different levels. You can improve at the steps you're using, maybe to minimize your expenditure. You can improve the quality, like okay, the quality of what the end product. Like, oh, I'm able to produce 10 tons of cocoa per year for those who are farmers. What can I do to produce 20 tons? So whatever you do at that step, that's what optimization is all about. If you are a yogurt producer and you sit down to say, oh, I produce this amount of yogurt in this time. What can I do to produce more yogurt? Or the same amount of yogurt but in a shorter time, or what can I do to produce a better quality? Maybe your yogurt does not have good antibiotics or does not have a good flavor. You check out what can I do to improve the flavor, what can I do to improve the sensory qualities, whatever you're improving in that yogurt. That is optimization. So I have an amazing comment in. We have to optimize is like upgrade. Thank you. I like that word upgrade. So another level, performance upgradeness. Thank you so much, Bernard. That is powerful. So he used some word that like upgrade. When I talk about the different version of iPhones, that's upgrading. So if you want to move from where you are in your life to another level, you have to optimize. True or true now? All of us agree that if because he has used a good word I love. Someone says, Sister Lee, it seems you like yogurt a lot. Oh, yes, I like yogurt. I want to deny that. I like it. So, yeah, but I like to use what I'm used to, right? I don't like to use things that I am not really used to explain simple concepts because that you make it difficult even for yourself to explain. So, yes, I like yogurt. That's why I can talk about yogurt because at least I know the process, I know the components in yogurt. And I know the taste, and I know when I'm going to buy, I know the type of things I'm looking. Like from the color of, for example, I have a particular brand of yogurt I take just because that person mentioned. So I just want to use yogurt to talk about optimization a little bit. So when I'm specifically going to buy yogurt, there's plain, there's strawberry, there's these. So I have to check from the color. I already know, may I have added strawberry. From you already know this one is plain. So those little adjustment makes the prices also of those yogurts different. Some people just go, they check the price that well. Personally, I don't check price of food products first. I check what I want in terms of quality. That's a conversation for another day. So yes, I like yogurt. And so I use yogurt just like something I like to explain this concept. And I hope we too can use whatever we like to understand this optimization and to get better understanding of this amazing discussion of today. So my question now to every one of us, Understanding that, oh, the things that we like, the things we do daily are being optimized for us to get that quality, that taste we like. My question to you now is, what are you doing to optimize your life? To optimize, like improve your quality of life, your value, your impact. What are you doing specifically to upgrade your life? To be honest, about the word optimization, as you say, I've been talking about it in yogurt. That is a production. I am very for the past years I've been talking or studying optimization of things in terms of science research and manufacturing of products. Like when you're producing this product, how can you optimize it? When you're doing this research, how can you optimize your results? For example, for those who do, let me say, you're doing protein analysis, and maybe the protein content was not low, or the detection, the accuracy and precision was not the best. You're asking yourself, how can I improve this accuracy and the precision, right? What do? You're optimizing. Or you can, for example, you can be doing amplification, PCR, and you have some bands that are not very clear, and you're like, how can I have better clear bands, right? Thank you, bro. Thank you for joining. So I have been in that space learning it, but to me, the spirit dropped in me like this week, like, how or what are you doing intentionally to optimize your life, to optimize your results, to optimize your value, to optimize whatever you're doing? So it became another like season, and that's what I'm asking everyone connected today. What are you specifically doing now to optimize what you're going to produce, the products you're going to have in 2024? What are you intentionally doing? Many times, as I said in the beginning, we all want to get heavy into the new year. Some people already like celebrating the new year, but it's good to celebrate, don't get me wrong. But sometimes anxiousness is that catalyst of distraction that distract us from seeing where we are going, because you're too anxious to get to the next location. You don't see what you have to do, the things you have to put in your back before you get to that next location. How many people have forgotten some things because they were anxious? How many people have missed some important appointment because they were anxious about the next day, the next thing, the next opportunity, the next level? Like, I always like to use, as I said, things that I can relate to a lot. I'm single, but I'm not single and lonely or single and anxious. But trust me, there are a lot of times that people fail to use this singlehood, which I always say is an opportunity to be yourself. It's an opportunity to learn more about yourself. It's an opportunity to discover yourself. A lot of people don't discover themselves in this season. It's a reality. Mostly where in this generation where we have the media, where everybody wants to show output and they forget there's a season you have to hatch, there's a season you have to cover your eggs, there's a season that you need darkness for it to mature, right? So we forget these little seasons of life and we want to launch into the next year. So my question, what are you doing? Thank you. I say I try to read books, and that's why I can see you growing every day. Your comments tell me you're intentionally working on great things, and keep it up, bro. I love that. I too, yesterday, just as you started reading new books, yesterday it turned on me like I had a couple of books that I'm supposed to read this year that I have not finished. And guess what? I was forced to start reading back yesterday. I had to really slow down. Like reading, I had slowed down with reading, and I had to challenge myself yesterday that before I go to bed, even if it's a page, I should read something before going to bed. Reading, it's something to really practice. Like it's a way to upgrade yourself, to know the more you know, the less you stress. The more you know that, oh, it's okay to have challenges even in your research. The main thing is not to stop. Will prevent you from just feeling like, oh, you want to do a research your first time, you need to have good results. If you don't have good results, some people they go and fake results, they go and copy, they go and edit to look like what they expected. So seeing that, for example, as a scientist, a lot of scientists, when you don't have that result, you want to fake, make it look like what you expected. It made me to understand why some people don't have that passion to discover new things. But to discover new things, if you look across the story of everybody who have discovered or have upgraded magnific or in a very exponential way, you see something that is consistent. You see the fact that They were not afraid of challenges. They were not afraid to start something new. They were not limited by their challenges, but they use that as opportunities. So that is a question to every one of us. Take this time, this season. We still have, isn't the year is not over. Things can change. The truth is, some people are, we like it or not, some people who are alive this season may not make it to 2023. I mean 2024. That is the reality of life. So the question is, what are you doing today, now? That is the main thing. Tomorrow, next year is going to be amazing, but what are you doing now? That is a question that I want us to answer individually as we are moving towards a new year, a new season, accepting it in a spirit that is a divine elevation. Divine elevation means something. It means you have that faith that is going to be better. But they say the Bible also says faith without action is dead or does not exist, right? So which means if you have that faith that this year is going to be better, what are you doing to prepare yourself for that higher level? Are you ready? Are you equipped to receive higher level? Because there are some people, for example, who have been blessed this year with a lot of money, but because they were not equipped, they misuse it. Someone say Africans are good consumers. Some people, if you pay some people more, they spend more. That's how some of us are engineered. The more I earn, the more I spend. So some of us don't know how to control ourselves. Those are little things that are very essential. The more you earn doesn't necessarily mean you should spend more. That is the reality. The more you earn doesn't, it can mean, okay, you should invest more. It can mean maybe you should manage more. So it's not necessarily you need to spend more. Spending mostly when it comes to liabilities, that's another topic for another season. So by the way, for those who want to get more about those knowledges, you can always feel free to inbox me and we'll talk about those things like how do I manage finances. So that is just to say God may have blessed us this 2023 that we're excited to just move into the next year. And maybe it was supposed to be your most blessed year in your entire life. But because you were so anxious, or because you were overwhelmed, or because you were not equipped to manage your blessings you have, you misuse it. So where you are, your level is not even to pray for God for more blessing. Your level maybe is for grace, for God to maybe help you identify those things and how you can. So we have different requests. But guess what? You will not even know the right prayer if you don't even know where you are. You won't know the right things to do to optimize if you don't know what you have done, what you want to become, what you are now, what you were. You won't really know what to optimize. Oh, by the way, I know there are amazing scientists. Like I see my brother Frankie. I know he's a biochemist too. So Daniel, biochemist. I see a lot of great people. But this is not only for scientists. But I know that as a scientist, there's no way you can do research without being conscious about optimization. Just no way. So to everybody who's connected, in whatever you're doing, you're optimizing, right? In whatever you are doing, you're optimizing. My question to everybody is, can we optimize the value, or let me say, can we optimize the quality and value of our lives without understanding what our life is all about? That is, can you optimize the quality of your product if you want to relate it to producing something? Can you optimize the quality of your product without fully understanding the product itself? Can we do that? Can you say, oh, I want to make my 2024 better, good, without understanding what your life is, what you've been doing, where you are in 2023? Can we do that? Can we do that? So as I said, you can always feel free to, if you don't want us to see your handsome or beautiful face, you can feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. But if you're open and you want to share with us, you're able to share, put on your camera, send us a message and we will send you the link to join us to share with us on the screen. So 2024, I'm looking for more bold and courageous people to join the screen Guys, some people are afraid of what people will say, what people will do. But trust me, people have freedom to always talk, so they will always say what they want to say. But that should not be the direction or um your main fuel to do what you have to do. So yeah, guys, let me see that in the comment section. Can we change the quality of a product without fully understanding the product? So obviously the answer is no. I just know. So definitely, a lot of us this year may have wasted the year also, not just misusing our opportunities, but also being distracted. One challenge we have, thank you, man. One challenge we have with this social media time is like, I feel we have more of the pressure, like you want to update people on your status, what you're doing, what you're eating, who you're sitting with. Is it your business? How does it add value to other people? How does it add value to you? So we have a lot of that pressure to show results, and sometimes we get distracted in that space. Also we get so informed or we're informed with what is happening in other people's life that we feel sometimes like other people's life are perfect, while us is not. Or we feel see other people like succeeding and we feel we are not succeeding, and that automatically is a stress for those who can't control or manage external invoice or whatever you want to call it. So definitely one thing that must have distracted a lot of us or some of us this year has been what is trending. Some of us want to go with the trend. Oh, now everybody is using but this iPhone. Trust me, it's not bad, but you want to know the reason why you buy what you buy. Oh, this is the latest car. Oh, this is the latest dress. Oh, this is the latest this, and oh, this is what is happening now. No, this is the job that everybody's doing now. Oh, this is the country everybody's going to. Trust me, that's a big distraction for those who know. The way, if you look, every person who move intentionally, there's something you see, they are not the same. I always like to use things as I say, and people I'm used to. I'm a Christian, and one thing I definitely like to grow in, or I grow with every day, is my understanding of my Christian walk. Not just going to church, but what is this Christianity of a thing all about? And being in that journey, I learn each day, and I'm so grateful and blessed. Also, I have amazing people who are doing greater than me, and I'm learning from them. So it's something. Greetings, Colin. Happy to have you with us. So the question is, what is my journey all about? What am I learning? So with that work, I'm trying to say that a lot of times you see that we feel like we are in this world and we have to be doing the same thing because everybody's moving to the US. I have to move to the US because people, but I always tell people that the truth is we don't tell ourselves the truth. We have people who are in their home countries and doing far better than some people abroad. How many of us agree? So I'm just one of those persons who don't check where someone is moving to, but I check what is the good where you were and where you are now. There are people who were abroad, were in their home country, they're doing far better than where they are abroad, right? So location is not always the main factor. The main factor is what is your own journey? Where are you going? Where are you now? What do you want? Who do you need? And how can you get to where you want and do what you have to be doing? And in that regard, just yesterday, two main names came to my mind. Guys, who are the most famous people you know? Let me see that in the comment section. Like generally, when you talk about two most famous people in the earth that who have walked through the surface of the earth, that people, so many people, when you mention their name, so many people know them. Who in any area in life you want to check those famous people that you know. For me, my number one is Jesus. So as I said, this question came to my mind like this week. Like you've been optimizing products, research, lab results, or lab whatever experiment processes, procedures. But how are you planning to optimize your life in 2024? That is a question. And I have to really check like optimization means improving the quality. And how can I optimize the quality of my life? Was a question that I asked myself. And yesterday, I'm like, okay, who are the people that I can say I really, really, when you talk about people you celebrate, are people that are maybe in a similar journey, something you wish you could become, and something you admire so much that they have done already, right? And two people came to my mind, and I had to go back and study about these two people before coming to this amazing conversation. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is the second person, but the first is Jesus. And I looked something about their life. They live a life that was purpose driven. How many people celebrate these two people today? And the truth is, I can say all of us connected, even our parents and grandparents inclusive, did not meet Jesus Christ. That guy, he's a guy because he came like he stayed on the same and went through the same hustle, insults, shootings, difficult times, times to cry, times he laughed. He cried, yes, he cried. But I know sometimes people don't acknowledge this way to say Jesus was like you, he cried. Jesus was like you, he had difficult moments. But the difference is that he was focused in his purpose. He was focused to say, instead of me just going to stay in one beautiful house and sleep every day, I better walk from Jerusalem to Judea to talk to this person because I have been sent to talk to this person. It doesn't mean if I don't have a car or even if I don't like it, even if my legs are going to hurt, even if people are going to laugh at me that I'm walking on the road while others are walking on beautiful cars, even if people are going to insult me that, oh, you say, oh, you have a God that is good, but yet you're still living, you're dressing like this or you're living like that. He was able to like manage the external noise. That's why I say external invoice or whatever you want to say will always be there, but it's you. Are you equipped enough to manage it? That is the question. So talking about optimization, it starts from you. What are the things that you know as a person you need to do this year? Sometimes we think it's only having money, relocating, but no. This thing starts from our mindset, starts from how equipped we are to manage situations, start from how equipped we are to process information. Because even if what I say now like this, right, is going to mean different things to different people based on what, based on their mindset, based on their level of reasoning, based on their perspective of life, based on their priorities. Some people understand this message after 10 years. So when I look the life of Jesus, I say, yes, I'm a Christian. So I ask myself as a Christian, how can I improve, optimize my lifestyle as a Christian? How can I improve or optimize my spirit as a Christian? How can I improve and optimize my entire impact and legacy as a human being? And another thing, I realized that Jesus died at the age of 33. That's when Sir Martin Luther King Jr.'s name popped up in my spirit. And okay, and this other great man we celebrate today that was like selfless. Because there's another person that people shot him, people insulted him. Sometimes his family maybe did not have food. That is the reality, that when you have a purpose in you, it's not always going to be good. Even if God tell you that you've been king today, God anoints you. They say, oh, you're on my head. Even the oil is 5 liters on your head. Trust me, you're going to still have difficult moments, and you really know how strong you are is when you go through difficult things. And I'm saying so because as we started this session with those who are just joining, I made mention that we are there are people who are happily celebrating the end of this year, but also people who are just waiting for the year to end, hoping that there's going to be a better year. So that's why I dedicated this song Strong and Courageous to those set of people. And I just want to say, no matter how difficult this year has been, there have been a lot of lessons. So if you went through a difficult time, it was a time God was equipping you to meet a Goliath that Goliath will be, yes, of course, if Goliath killed David, it will not be as joyous as we celebrate it now, right? If Martin Luther King Jr. didn't fulfill what he came on earth to fulfill, nobody will be celebrating him now. So the question is, what do we think? What limits us? Sometimes we think it's our age. Sometimes we think, oh, we need to be at the age of 40 because somebody said life starts at 40. But I'm just trying to say, if you look the life of Jesus, Jesus died at the age of 33. Some of us here are older than 33, right? Some people are older than 33. What have you achieved so far that you think people will celebrate you forever? What have you achieved so far that you're so proud about yourself? What can you do different? And when you look at that, you come down again to Sir Martin Luther King. You see, oh, this guy too did not reach 40 years. He died at the age, you see, I say guys because at that time they were young people too, right? So he died at the age of 39. I mean, he didn't clock that 40 years. So did I say he did not enjoy life? He did enjoy his life. So your definition of enjoyment may even be a limitation now to what blessings you're going to have next year. So each time, I always see life in two different ways. The way an entrepreneur see life or situations is different from the way somebody with an employee mindset see life. If you're a person who just believe in job, the way you see life as a whole is different from somebody who see life as an entrepreneur. When we talk about investment and entrepreneurship, for example, people always think about money. But to me, as a person, as I always say, let's think about your time. Your time is worth more than money. You can use your time to make money, true or true, but can you use your money to buy more time? Like, oh my God, I have a lot to do today. I'm not yet gone anyway. I need more 1 hour, and I have this money in my account. Can I use this money to buy more hours to increase in the time today? How many of us can do that? So that's why I talk about the age and the time. So today is still, we still have minutes, we still have hours to do great things before we get into 2024. What are you intentionally doing to make that difference? That is a question I want everybody to try to answer before you even celebrate. Because the main thing you need is that answer now. Is there any person who will start optimizing after, how can I even put it? Like, is there any person who plan to have a good product only after the products have been produced? No. You start before you even go to start produce. So optimization generally, guys, doesn't come after production. That's what I'm trying to say. Because sometimes people think that you only optimize something you have produced when you have a product. No. You can have some steps people have used. You say, oh, this person used this step or this method, and the person had a black and white result. And like, oh, that's why, as I said, if you take iPhones, some people just want to have the latest phone, the latest thing, but they don't ask, how can I do this? How can I relate this to my life? The way an entrepreneur, for example, sees opportunities in everything. When there was COVID, somebody only thought of, how can I use COVID to make money? That's the reality. Somebody said, okay, let me come out with this thing. The one said, let me come out with that. I'll not mention the things, but there's so many things that business people just saw as opportunities at that time. Why someone was saying that, oh, there's COVID, the pandemic is killing. The more you're announcing it, the more you're showing that entrepreneurial idea is valid. The more you're promoting the other person's business. So each time someone is losing on this earth, or each time someone is dying, somebody's saying a cover. True or true? Each time someone is going to the mutual attendants are making money. That's the reality of life. So what can we do with this minute we have? What can we do with the days we have before the new year? If you have that divine revelation, that divine belief that next year is going to be better, my question to you, what are you doing to be sure that next year is better? So basically, that's what I want everybody to share. So I'm going to share with us some amazing conversation or some sort of amazing points or tips or some things I'm personally doing, because that's what I do. Yeah, I don't come to motivate everybody or anybody, but what I try to always do is tell myself the truth. So what I'm saying is always like what I tell myself or what I am doing, and I just try to feel like my eyes are open, my feet somehow closed, talking to me, and that's how I always go. So basically, what I'm going to share is what I am intentionally doing, all I've been doing. Obviously, you don't start planning for next year at the if. So for those who did not start early, you're already late. As I said, for those who didn't start investing like me at the age of 15 days old, when they were 15 days old, which many of us didn't do, we are already late to start your investment. So your investment in life does not start when you have money. No. It started the moment you started talking. It's the moment you even started seeing. That's the moment you're supposed to start investing your time, every asset, the people you have. Some people had their mothers when they were young, right? Now their mothers are not their fathers. So that's how it goes. So if you understand that each day in your life is an investment day, each opportunity is an investment opportunity, your debt eventually will keep getting better. That is the reality. if you ask the person you ask any person who is producing something, ask when you started, is this how your products were? The person will obviously say no. The first ones I produced, nobody even used them, nobody even liked them. But it depends as you keep upgrading. So that is to say, irrespective of where your life is, the good thing to do now, if you didn't start already, is to check, how can I improve my quality? How can I keep optimizing? And of course, before optimizations, there are a couple of things that people do. So I use the word optimization because I know a lot of people can, at least have heard about the word. A lot of us have used upgrading. So you can say, how can we upgrade? And for me, the first thing in upgrading is understanding what you have. That's the first step, right? So everybody connected, before I share my own specific points or what I'm doing, the tips for a better or continuous upgrade, not just for 2024, but continuous as daily, what I do daily to make sure that I keep upgrading. I want each and every one of us share with us one or two things that you do to keep upgrading. Because if you've been following this program, obviously your mindset will not be the same. You understand that growth is continuous. Growth does not just come in one day. Growth is continuous. Like each day we keep learning, we keep growing. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I may look physically the same height, the same skin color. Hey, hi, Haley Shadon, thank you for joining. We're blessed to have you. So yeah, I may look the same physically, but of course I don't think the same. I don't have maybe exactly the same priority order. So I maybe have the same priority order, but not the same understanding. So things keep changing. I may not be doing the same thing, so I may not want to do the same thing I was doing last year or last minute, last day. So things keep changing. To you, to make sure that things don't change in the negative direction, what are you doing to make sure that, we talked last week about living in the moment, like that's a distraction. So if you have not been watching all those previous videos you are watching on YouTube, wherever you're watching, for the past months we've done our best to make sure that these videos are good and stay live, stay available and accessible for everybody. There's no premium, and we don't ever intend to have premium so that you have to pay for our content before watching it. So this is an opportunity to say, we have amazing girls and amazing people who share this their great insight. Everybody I bring here because I've seen that there's something I can learn from that person. That's what happened. So I don't just yeah. So we try to make sure that we have positive energy. They say iron sharpened iron. So if you're a positive person, your environment has a lot of influence on you. If you choose to stay with negative people, they will drain you down. But if you check people who have that type of your mindset, are able to believe that they are a gift, you're a gift, and they can help you grow. That is life, and that is what helps you to grow. So I believe we have those amazing people. The people you see commenting here, I'm telling you, are great people, awesome people. So every one of us, tell us, what do you? I'm saying that to say we have previous videos that the comment section is always also very insightful. Like you're learning from not just what we say, but also the ones people share in the comment section. So do your best to watch our previous videos. We have videos of living in the now, videos on purpose, like what does it mean by living according to your purpose, and we have the powerful guys. I have amazing people. We have the different type of videos. So our contents are a little bit not just about maybe your faith or investment or lifestyle mindset, but you see that we've put in different things that pertains to life, overall success. We've talked about school and learning. So we have those things, like irrespective of your age, if you still learn, schooling is something you may want to think, do I need to register in an online program, in person? What is the difference? So we had a session like that, and we had two of my friends that are doing PhD in math, and they're great and amazing people in general. And of course, people are like, oh, math is difficult. That is what some people think, and that's why I had to bring people like that so you can also hear from them. So we have different videos that I know we all can keep learning. That's why we do what we do, because we believe learning is continuous. That's one thing I've said. So how do we keep going? So I have one from my amazing friend, that Franklin. He says, to keep myself updated, I do the following. One, I with tools, as you say, mindfully with Associate mindfully with other people. Awesome. So you see what I said? Reading, learning, and association. Those are two powerful things that we take a lot for granted. This year, for you to know the type of mindset you have as of now, just check the type of videos you've been watching. This is something that happened on the social media that I've come to, I noticed it, then I investigated and I saw it's valid. So the type of adverts, the type of video that the social platform media will recommend to you is based on what you have been searching. What you have been searching is dependent on your mindset. So if you see for example, you go to YouTube and your YouTube is always showing about gossip videos, that is who you are. I'm sorry to say it the way it is, but that is the reality. So that's somewhere you have to upgrade. If you go to TikTok, you go to YouTube, you go to Instagram, they do the same thing. They're sending only that type of like negative things, people gossiping, people killing other people, like killing verbally, whatever. Or you go, you see only people talking about how to lift each other up, how to be a caring person. That is who you are. You're a caring person. So it's that. It's as simple as that. So you sit back and ask like, what actually have been the most common type of content that have been shared with me, have been recommended to me. That's a simple way you can do to evaluate yourself this year. Like check from January to this point in time. What have been the content, a type of content I have been consuming? Because when we talk about mindful association, we have different ways we associate. Now we don't need to meet in person, right? You can just sit and you're watching Lucy's video. I've never met me in person. We are associating, right? And you're commenting, you're talking. That is an association. What you get from this video, you may think is not affecting you, but you go home and you sit one day and you just have a replay, or you be in a situation and you have this replay. That happens to me, not just you, everybody. There are some things you go through and you just remember, oh, this person once said this person once did that. So yes, I really agree with your points, and they are very, very needful and essential for us to keep upgrading. So in that light, as I said, everybody, when you come in, feel free. We are not scaring anybody. Everybody's contribution is highly welcome. This is a family of positively minded people. People who believe, like the song that talked about Paul and Apollos. It's just to say we are seven. I am a vessel. I'm not a perfect being. I'm a vessel that still has so many things to upgrade, and I just believe a tool for God to use. So God can use me in different ways. God can use me at different times in different situations. And that I believe also God is using each and every one of us in different ways, different things. That's why I respect everybody's grace. I respect every person's opinion. I respect every person's perspective, because sometimes you don't understand what people do because you are not exactly in their position and you don't know their assignment. And in that light, we all will keep showing and encourage all of us that this is the last session for the year, but we look towards having an amazing session next year. But before we hear it to say, oh, happy new year, we are in the next year, let me share with you all some amazing tips that I am using so that my days and subsequent days continue. Okay, I like Oma say I am learning to be a good listener. Trust me, that was something I had to learn the whole of 2023. That was one of my intentional goals, to be able to listen more. And I'm grateful I had that grace to learn a lot from so many other people. I listen to a lot of people, which is something I used not to do. Like I used to start watch the beginning, move fast to the ending. Like I don't have that patience to listen, but now I really learn from that. So thank you so much. That was the third point we've had. So guys, let's keep sharing. You see, we all are learning. I didn't have listening on my list, by the way. So one of the things I really want to, the thing I do daily, not want to, because as I said, I'm not the person who believe that New Year just means things are going to change, but it just means you may optimize the same things you've been doing. You may check how, like he talked about this, you may check what you've been doing and see what you can improve. So I'm going to just give my tips, things I do personal as a human being, to make sure that I keep upgrading no matter what happens. I keep just upgrading. One of it is to reflect and analyze my journey, purpose, and priorities. So, like each day, before I get up from my bed or before I leave my bed, I do those analysis like, am I still on this track? Am I with this person? Am I with this? Am I supposed to do this? My life as a whole, like what do I really want? Am I doing what I want to do? Am I where I want to be? Am I with so that's reflection and analysis, and also regards to your purpose, like God, why actually did you create me? Oh yes, I am born, but what again is your reason? So I have those type of real conversations, and to me that is very important. That is what really directs me to know that this was a distraction, because if you don't know what you need to produce a product, for example, let's talk about yogurt. If you take crayfish and put in yogurt, crayfish is a good spice for some type of foods, but do you necessarily need crayfish in yogurt? Let me know. So if you know that, okay, this is what I need, this is my recipe, this is my procedure, you obviously see somebody say, hey, add some your crayfish to eat. You always like, really? What would be the function of crayfish? You already have that question because you already know what you want and what you need. Or so what you want and how to do it. So that is applicable to our lives. If you already know what your purpose is, you already know the direction you're going. Trust me, it will be very easy for you to identify what is a distraction and what is not a distraction. A lot of us this generation have that difficulties to say, oh, this is not for me. Though this is the easy way to go, but this is not my direction. Though this is what everybody is doing, this is not what I'm supposed to do. Or though this is what how everybody is doing, but this is not necessarily how I want to do. And so if you see people like Jesus being celebrated today because they stood up for something. Look, everybody who we celebrate today, you see this consistency that they stood up for something different. Everybody felt like, it's okay. Like when old people say what they say, they have the right, or when elders in the church, the Pharisees, they have studied the Bible, they know it all. When they say, you just sit quiet. No, Jesus was not coming to oppose them. He just had to teach them the right thing. Like, I'm not going to argue with you guys back and forth. I'm just going to preach what I suppose. So most of the time, what did Jesus do? He was teaching. He was a teacher. So if it comes to Saint Martin Luther King, you see, he had a goal. Like he felt like there should be love. People should be one, irrespective of what you are, where you're going. There should be unity. And yes, of course, in where there's discrimination, when people think, I have to treat the black different, the white different, do you think everybody would like that? No. So, by what did he do? He had to stay focused to know that if you are against this my goal, you are not for me. This is a distraction. If you are not promoting this, so it goes to you and I. So for me, every day that is something I don't take lightly. It's making sure I know what I want for the day. I know what I have to do for the day. Like I always tell, like I told someone yesterday, I see a lot of people, like ladies typically do this. You go to the market, you start look, spend 3 hours looking everything, and you buy nothing. Why do you waste your time for that? So for me, before I go to buy, I already know what I need. Before I go to the grocery shop, I know exactly the things I need. Of course, you may add one thing that you didn't think at the moment when you were making your list, but it's not like you're going to spend 1 hour just looking what you don't need and you may never buy. That is time and that is an investment. So having your purpose and knowing your purpose is very essential for next year, because the next year you may still waste it doing the wrong things, following the crowd, following what is trending, following what people want you to do, and not even doing what you're supposed to do. Number two thing that I do on tips or something I practice is I do a critical analysis and hear God for directions and insights about each new step. Each new step. Yes, I know my purpose. Each day I ask myself, oh God, what am I supposed to do in accordance to my purpose? Oh God, this is my journey. Where am I? So, what do you want me to do? So, the next thing is obviously trying to know, oh God, this is what I did. Is this how I'm supposed to do it? Did I do something wrong? Show me what was wrong. How can I do? So if you're in that space of being intentional about you, what you're doing, how I spoke to this person, what I mean, oh, how I'm going to meet this person tomorrow, how can I do it? How can I talk? So for that continuous direction is the second thing I do every day to make sure that I become a better person and understand and listen to people more. That's why I talked about listening was a key thing. I realized like 2023, I had to learn more. Like, obviously, I know my brain. I sometimes, we as humans want to tell me around the bush, but I'm not the person that when you want to talk to me, please. Mostly this year, just go straight to the point. Like, some people were saying something like they're saying something bad, but you're pretending like it's for good. And for me, I am good at like cutting people. Stop there. So for now, I learn like just listen and let them say what they have to say and finish, because you really have more details and more things. Then maybe at the end of the day, you just look at them and you don't have anything to say. So all of us keep learning. So critical analysis is key. And I would say this many times as a scientist or as humans, as we grow up, we tend to take just the things we learn in school and apply just for school purpose. Like some of us have learned so much on how to be organized, and we apply it in our jobs, but we don't apply in our individual lives. How many people can relate to this? A lot of things we have learned in school, and we just shape ourselves to apply those things in those areas. Even in our homes, there are things we've learned, but we apply them only when it concerns where they are going to pay us. Like some of us do so good at jobs, but those same skills, those some things that we apply in our jobs, how often do we apply it in our lives? Critical thinking now typically is something, a skill they need you to have, right? When you're applying for a job, they want you to be a critical thinker, they want you to be a problem solver. How many of us apply these amazing skills in our individual lives? So definitely one thing, we all want to be intentional to make sure that we constructively, critically analyze each day, which is something I really do, and I'm testifying that that it's so amazing. Like it helps you from being too anxious, it helps you from being overwhelmed with situations, it helps you from being often distracted. Like it's easy for you to identify, this person's lying or this is a distraction. Like sometimes people say things that they themselves they don't know they are reporting themselves, because they're using your words, but they think they twisted it for you not to figure it out. But of course, there's a level that you can lie a child that, oh, this is not what you see, but an adult has an advanced brain, right? So the third thing, when you do critical analysis, everybody will do critical analysis. You must have what they call critical control points. For example, if you realize you check your life as I started, each day I check my life. Maybe I realized that yesterday I spent too much time on movie, or maybe I realized that yesterday I spent too much time on a phone call more than what I should. Even what we were saying was not valid. As a person, honestly, guys, one thing I reduced this year entirely is the number of phone calls I had per day intentionally. And also the time, like there's some people that I know it's just how are you good, things like that. I just send a text or a voice note. So there are some people that oh, the conversation is not helping in any way. I shun it direct. Like I don't receive call, text me or WhatsApp. That yeah, people like that. Like just text me or send me a voice note. So that's to say that's a typical a control point, a critical point that is affecting you. So when I talk about critical, it's something that is affecting your purpose, that may be hindering you for fulfilling your purpose, that may be affecting your level of peace, maybe affecting your health, maybe affecting your results, maybe affecting you in general. It's it can be people, it can be your situation, it can be you, the way you handle some things, it may be the time you spend on your TV, the time you spend on your phone. So these are the things that will make the next year better. This little they may be like very very minute things, but this when you accumulate the effect you have, the level of peace, for example, you have in understanding that, oh, me listening to gossip makes me more negative, help you to say, okay, I don't listen to gossip. For example, I don't listen too much to bad news. I don't have that. I don't. If a news is bad, it's okay. I already get it, but I don't want to know, for example, somebody had an accident. I don't really want to see that picture or that video on how for my peace of mind, I don't see that. I don't see things like that. There are other things. So you need to understand yourself. We are different. We are engineered differently. Oh, this person is bad, 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 and I want to get up each day like the news tell you about this is bad. COVID is bad, this one is dying, this person. I like it with balance. Tell me the bad and the good. So I don't listen too much to bad news. So I regulate how much of news as in general I want to receive per day. So that is a critical control point. I regulate what food I eat. That is a critical. For example, you cannot be diabetic and you're taking excess sugar every day, and you're taking whatever insulin or whatever drugs or whatever. No matter how good your doctor is, that is you to control to say, oh, I'm diabetic and this can be a problem to me. You cannot be hypertensive and each day you continue to stress excessively. Those are simple things. So when we talk about critical control points or better value of life, it's about us. That's what I always say. It's about you, the container. How are you to receive whatever is coming? If you're good, even if the product is not the best, at least you maintain that quality so that it doesn't get too bad, right? But if you're already a broken person, somebody being a gossip, you amplify it and you add level of hatred in you. So setting critical control points and critical control limit. Limit means, okay, one thing I can control. Also, one thing about the critical control points for me that I have to understand is that it has to be something under my control. Sometimes we focus, waste our time on things we have no control over. For example, somebody's died. I can't change that fact, but the thing is, oh God, how can I do? Let me say, if it relates, how can I help this family? How can I pray? I do so a lot of things. Maybe sometimes you see someone who is hungry. What you can do, and maybe if you have money, help. If you don't have the money, do what you can do, but you can't focus on what you can do. A lot of time people get depressed, frustrated, hypertensive, sick, whatever, because they focus on what they can't control. So critical control points has to be things that you or me can control. And to these points, we have to set limits. When you get a food product, when you go, I will use yogurt, as you already know, guys. I like the yogurt, yes. So when I go to buy a yogurt, because I like yogurt, by the way, for its pet because of its probiotics. I prefer yogurt to ice cream. So yogurt has particular probiotics that when I'm buying, I want to see them in it. So when I go, I check. And also, I understand the safety part of yogurt. So there are other things that I want to check that there's no excess sugar in my yogurt. So I always have to check what amount of added sugar. Yes, it may be the same, but what amount of added sugar is in this yogurt? That's one thing that will tell me to say I don't like it. So whoever produces it and you don't put that level of added sugar percentage is a problem. So that's to say, you as a person, we all need to understand that, okay, and my body needs sugar. People will say alcohol is good for the body. I'm like, what level of alcohol is good for the body? Do your body produce alcohol? Do your body? So you have to check what amount. This is good. Vitamins are good. What amount do I need? So those are the limits. And I need at least this quantity, at most this quantity. Those limits are essential for a better 2024, better year, better life for us to keep going. And yes, the next thing I obviously do is set the goals. Once I have the limits, you can say, oh, this year I'm not going to take alcohol again. For me, it's something I had to, it took me about 2 years to say, okay, I'm withdrawing totally from alcoholic drinks. And it's not, and that's the highest question I received in the year 2020, 23. Why don't you take alcohol? Why don't you take alcoholic drinks? When taking non-alcoholic drinks, I'm not also the person who likes sugar, so you can get that is twisted. It's most people who don't like alcoholic drinks like the sodas, and I don't like sodas, so and any other thing related to that. So just to say, these critical control points, no matter how good you set them, if you don't set good goals, you may not achieve them. Like, how can I resist? I like this thing, but for now I don't need them. I like the taste of this thing, but it trouble me in this way. How can I like, of course, I like spending time here in the club, but each time I go to the club, my spirit is broken. How can I resist it? Oh yes, I like spending, and I like having multiple boyfriends, girlfriends, but at the end of the day, I don't feel any fulfillment. How can I? Oh yes, one of those amazing critical control points is, oh, I won't stay out at this time with this person, with any person with know this. Those is important, but how do you make sure you achieve or respect those your goals? That's why Mr. Denzel Washington says something. Denzel Washington says something about consistency and discipline. To get started, you need what? You need to be consistent, right? But for you to finish, you need what? Discipline. So we all can consistently start something, or we can make a decision to start something. Yes, you've started, but how do you get to that finish line to say, okay, the whole of this year, those goals I set, some of us forgot the goals we set in 2023. We forgot to be, by the time it was 19th of January, not every February. Not everybody remember the goals in February. So these are the point. This is when I talk to us creatively. Like we said last year, we don't just set goals, we don't just have wishes, but we write them down. So the fourth point is all about setting those goals and writing them down, not just having wishes in the air, dreams that you maybe don't remember or you're going to forget. So writing them down is something that really helps me. At first, I used not to write them down. I used to have them in my mind. But now talking about, okay, you see me sometimes once in a while I post my message of the year. It's for me to remember that, oh, at the end of the day, this year is not like a regular year, like everybody, you just live, you just do what you want to do, eat what you want to do. You have to walk in the light of the Lord, of God, which is, it's not like you just have to do the things the way you want to do. You have to make sure that this is what God wants you to do. And guys, it's difficult because sometimes you don't hear what God doesn't even say anything. God is working in the background but not saying anything. And as a human, you may feel like God is delaying, but God is never late. So it's I'm just saying that those goals, you have to face those reality. Your goals have to be also, the goals you're going to set is going to be based on your mindset. So we obviously want to set our goals that will help us to maintain the critical points. Those critical points also, let me put in a positive way, those are things that you can change to make your own life better. Like, let me say your critical point is your finances. Some of us this year have not earned enough. So what can you do in that critical point is to increase your earning, right? Like, okay, you set a point that this year, this 2024, I want to make sure that my earning moves from maybe $50,000 a year to $100,000. Now, in your goals, obviously, you want to design a way that is going to help you to achieve that particular, to reach that particular limit, right? That critical limit of $100,000. So you have to set out goals based on that. A lot of time we set goals based on other people's opinion. True or true? Sometimes we even set goals based on what is trending, which has nothing to do with our own critical points. You, for example, may set a goals on what you want to earn. Like people, we have a video, by the way, on sources of income. Like, do you necessarily need to increase your sources of income in order to increase your income? The answer is a no. Sometimes there are people this year, or let me say sometimes, I'm not even say this year, sometimes you earn, but because you are a good consumer, good consumer, people who are good at spending anyhow. Good consumer, people who want to have the latest car, the latest phone, latest something. So if you're the latest, you may be now, you think your problem is more money. No, the more you make money, the more you spend. So at the end of the day, you're always broke, not because you don't earn enough. So what will be your critical point should not be increasing your earnings. It should be controlling your spending habits, or doing some smart investments, or saving more. How do you use this order to, like, how can I save more? Should be your critical control point. It should not be increasing earning. So if you come to 2024, you're praying for God to increase my earnings, God give me another job, God give me overtime, God give me, that's not your prayer. that is not for you. So you see yourself in that cycle of earning more, but doing the same thing, the same stress, going through the same pain. How many of us can relate? Maybe in your past you were in that position that you were thinking that, oh, all I had to do is earn more, and you were earning more. You got to that point, but man, like, God, what's happening? I've done all these things. I work so hard, but yet I'm still broke. I've been working for 20 years. I've been working for 5 years. I've been working for 3 years, but yet I don't have anything to show off for. I sit down and calculate, like, so something that for me as a person, what helped me, I attended a seminar. I can't forget that seminar from those in Cameroon. I remember that day I was doing business with a company. We say, okay, if you're going to, for all our partners, if you're going to attend this powerful event, organized, and the person presently is in Texas, and the person then was in Cameroon. That is Mr. Remarkable, for those who know him, um, Mr. Jobert. So he had this amazing. I didn't even know about him, but that was an amazing session that I always give credit to him for that. So this session was going on in Douala at Hotel Afales. That's a very big hotel for those who know it. So I'd never been to Hotel Afales before then. But the key thing about was the main message of it was just about entrepreneurship. And for me as a person, when you regards to entrepreneurship and investment, if you know me, I always spend. I always want to know more. So it's something I was just like, okay, yeah, I want to learn. So I paid a subsidized fee because I had that support. But when I went to that event, the man was something. It's like it was so powerful. But one thing I learned from that particular event, that was in 2019, that helped me today, is he said do this. So we did a lot of practical things. But what stayed with me, which I practice today, is when it comes to finances, is this. Each year you may think you don't earn enough. If it's $1, it's very important. Each year, each money that comes to my account, I write it down. So I have a total of how much I've received in my account written down as from that year. And how do I set my financial goals and limit for the subsequent year? And that's one thing that really, as a person, helped me to keep working. Working not stressfully, by the way. So working smartly. So it's the fact that each year, because I have the tally of everything I've received as income, I multiply it by 10. Say, for example, my total earning this year, I'm just giving an estimate, was $60,000, assuming. What I have to, like, next year limit is that $60,000 by 10. So, guys, how many jobs will you need to get to $600,000 per year in America? That's a lot of job. That's why I see I'm always into investments. So for me, that is something that helped me a lot. And so I'm just saying for those, because finances is one of the reasons why a lot of us struggle with our purpose, struggle with peace, struggle with health, because we want to make it more. But definitely we may be doing the wrong thing. You may need to just plan smartly. You may need to just do smart investments. You may need to just minimize. So we may need different things. That's just the essence of it. So when you're setting the goals, be intentional about your goals. So for me, that's what I do. I set my goals based on that. So in regards to my finances, I spend based on what I achieved this year, and I ask myself, what do I first of all I have to multiply by 10 to get to what I have to do the subsequent year. So it's always like that. Like if I check what I earned in 2019 that year, which I started doing it, and what I earned in 2020, obviously it was like that. It was that multiplication. And what I earned in 20, so it's just like that. That's how it goes. So once you do that, no matter what life, you see that you're continuous, and that goes to every area in your life. If you see that, or maybe you were talking to just few people, you maybe want to have more connections, because also that's something I do. I increase my network intentionally every day. Increasing your network doesn't necessarily mean increasing your inner cycle. Be careful. Because sometimes we fail to understand that some transactions are just for business. Some people are meant to be at workplaces. They're not supposed to be in your house. So a lot of times we forget those basics. But I try to say it so that those who don't know or we're not thinking should think also in that way. So set your goals this year. I know one mistake that some people may have been doing is setting goals based on what is trending, what people want, what people are saying, but you want to be very intentional. If you sat down to follow my steps, for those who are just joining, I'll take you all over. First thing, you reflect and analyze your journey, your purpose, and your priorities. Second thing, what I do my critical analysis and hear God for directions and insights for each day. I don't just move that, okay, God, this is what I want to do, this is what I can do. But I'm like, God, is this what you want and how you want me to do it? So that's why some things you may see me delaying. I may tell you that this is what I want to do, but you see me taking 2 years to realize that because I need confirmations, I need directions on. I don't have time to waste. I don't want to waste my time doing something in a wrong way, then regret the entire life. I don't have time for regrets. So that thing is we have to start and write down our critical limits and critical points and control limits, by the way. The fourth thing is set goals, and I was just emphasizing on the fact that it's not just set goals, but let's make sure we are setting those goals on what I do and make sure I set goals that are with regards to my own journey, my perspective, my priorities, my purpose, and not any other external stuff. Identify what and who I need. Once you set your goals in life, as I say, you know which is distraction, you know who actually you need, you know what ingredients and what area you need to work on. So that's the fifth thing I do. Definitely, I try to identify what type of people do I need. Okay, I have a business idea now. Who do I need for this my business? What else do I need to do? I have this skill. What skill do I? That's why you see me definitely. I talk about reading and learning. I'll always be learning. Always. Yeah. I'll keep learning. So I'm always in that space of, okay, this is where I want to get to. For me to, for example, increase my earnings to this level, it's not definitely going to have what do this person do? What can I do? So you see me doing a lot of other things, guys. That's why you see me business, I'm there, science, I'm there, church, I'm there. So so I just believe like keep learning. And once you learn about what you need, the more you know what you don't need. That's the way forward. Don't focus so much on what you don't need. Focus on what you need. Once you know the original money so well, it's easy for you to identify the fake, right? That's the same thing in life. Once you understand that this is the actual process, any other thing that is not in line is easy for you to identify. So let's focus on identifying our own journey. Then you always know who is just there to gather information, who is just there, who is a distractor, who is just there for fame, who is just there to use you. It's easy for you to identify those things. Once you know what your work, once you know your journey, once you know exactly who you need, exactly what you need, definitely it's easy for you to know that this is an impurity. Yeah, that's what selection is all about. So we all have the freedom of selection. Okay, so next thing is I take a step each day. Sometimes we may have amazing goals, but impatience is a problem, mostly in this generation. I don't know why. But a lot of us are so impatient. Like we have great things, but let me give an example. Like you want to create content, you want to make money from content creation, but we are not patient enough to even check what content we want to create, what's happened on this space because it's a new thing to some of us. Or you want to start producing let me say you want to start producing your own makeups. I see a lot of people into cosmetics, how they call these things, skincare, whatever. How many of us really go down to really study the details of what a human skin is all about? I hear people vitamin C, vitamin D, some of the things you do, we add on our bodies. We don't even know that your body produces glutathione. So you see, but this has glutathione, it has. I'm just giving those examples. Like it's very important we take a step each day. So for me, that's definitely one thing I try to do. Yes, I have these great goals, I have these amazing things. The reality is, some of those things you set to achieve in 2023, have you achieved them? So are you just going to pack them by the side because you didn't achieve them and work 2024 looking for new doors to open? The old doors that were open in 2023, you still maybe have something that God is finishing for you. So we have to be that patient. Patience is a virtue. It's not a gift. It's something you build. So we all have to build that endurance to wait, mostly when we are not having results, which a lot of us. So taking a step each day is something I definitely practice. Like yes, I have 500 goals, amazing ideas in my head, but of course, let me take a day at a time, a step at a time. What do I do each day as opposed to the last, maybe the past 5 years. What I used to do is I want to do everything. But now, if you know, those who they'll tell you, a lot of people will tell that no, those you don't pressure hand. Because give me the goals, we have those goals we set. I give you like, okay, this is what I can do. If you have an appointment with me, this is when we can meet. It's not now. Now I'm live. So it's this already program, right? So there are things I know Saturdays at this time I am here. All I focus by the time it's Friday is do my live session. After that live session, I have other things that are already fixed. Monday, I know this is what is my prayer time. That is what I do at that prayer time or before the prayer time. I know I have this activity, this activity. Take those days, just do those daily rituals and do what I have to update there. I do. So I can testify that that has helped me a lot. It's something I didn't know like very early. That is something that really helped me daily, not being overwhelmed, being anxious. Because I used to be really anxious about like so concerned. Oh my God, what if, what if? But now I try my best to like a day at a time, a thing at the moment. So an activity, people say they multitask. I'm calling, so that's why I can. You see me when I say I'm live. I will not want to talk with everybody to see what someone is saying. That's not my business. We'll talk after this live session. People who call me. I'm like, hey, if you call me 30 minutes before my live session, like someone did, you just call me because you always come and he's like, you're going live about this. I'm like, yes. So we'll talk after, right? Yes. So that's how it goes. Take once we are able to take an activity at a time, we are more productive, we have better results. And that's a powerful thing. Like if we can all can practice it, definitely we'll have better results. The next thing is what I'm not sure. How many of us really take our time after analysis, after execution, take our time to not reflect now on what we've done, if there's something that we could adjust? So interim, I call them interim verification and self-checks to ensure that you are still focused. It's something also I learned recently, which really helps me. So in as much as I want to fly, I want to go, I tried to take some breaks. To sometimes it's a day in a week, sometimes it's in a month, but also I do it daily at different points to just check like, okay, what was I to do today? Check, did I do them all? What was I to do this week? Did I do everything? What was I to put in order? Did I do that? So interim verification and self checks to make sure you're still focused and not distracted. Because sometimes, guys, you can get so overwhelmed. You may be in a situation that the situation is consumed. It may be good, it may be bad. It may be a good situation like, oh, there's a joy that comes with Christmas. And sometimes we just get overwhelmed with that Christmas thing that there are some things that we're surely supposed to do divinely on the 24th or on the sometime in that scene, but we'll miss those important things because of the moment. So every day, why no matter how happy, sad I am, I do my best to check what was I to do and what have I done? Am I still having the same priorities or this thing changed me? Another thing is I've noticed that when people are in difficult situations, they tend to change their priorities somehow change. Like if you're a believer, some people start like, oh, God is not like it seemed like I've like for example, let me use COVID-19 as a typical. When it was COVID, I stopped going visiting people because there was this statement that turned my spirit down totally. Each time somebody said it, you go to someone's place, they're like, COVID-19 is more than God. I'm like, since when did God become like that's a shift in priority, but people may not understand what that means. That's a shift in priority. There's no way, and in no situation, no matter how bad a situation, it cannot be more than God. Nothing is more than God. So I understand that that was a place of frustration. That's a place of fear. That's a place of. So I'm using this as an example. COVID was a shock to so many people, but the truth is, it was not a total surprise for those who have been reading end times, the plague, all those things. That is just the truth. But now, for us that we see these things in life, some things comes as a surprise. So, what am I trying to say? That sometimes, because of the shock we are with some situations happening, it may be a positive shock, it may be a negative shock. We may tend to change our focus to focus on that situation, not actually what we're supposed to do in the situation or what we are actually to be doing that day. So that is the importance of that check, so that we don't lose focus on what we are going. So guys, let me at this point let me take a break to make sure we are still connected as amazing people. So are we all enjoying this session of today? As I said, this is the ending of the year, and the mistake a lot of times we do. Let me see some hearts for all those who are watching. If you're still connected, and if thank you so much. I have my brother connected. Hear what he's saying. He said I'm watching from Sumbe, but I know what it means. For those who don't know, he's watching from Dubai, but he says I'm watching from Sumbe. And he always do that. Thank you so much, bro. I'm so glad to have you with us. So guys, let me see the hearts for all those who are watching, and if you're enjoying what we're saying, and if all of us are learning something, because the essence of these conversations is not just for us to watch and do the same thing. If you watch this session, sweethearts, and we go back and we just do that traditional way of transitioning into the new year, you may not see the power, and you may not see that change, that new thing specifically that God is doing in your own life, which I believe for everybody, every new day is a full package. That's what I have somewhere. Like each new day is a new package. And if you don't understand it that way, you may miss a lot of things. So it's not just a new year, but it's each new minute has a new thing. Each new minute in life, in fact, second, as the clock tick, something new is happening. As the clock ticks, something new. So if you understand time in that way, we all will value every minute we have. Thank you so much, Terence, for joining. I see a lot of my biochemist people in the house today. Happy to have all the great scientists doing great things everywhere with you guys and family and everyone. So it's always a pleasure to have everybody. For me, everybody, by the way, is family. So it's always a blessing to connect with everybody and hear from everybody. So yes, guys. So let's move to our next point. By the way, so intent verifications is they're very very important and essential. The next one, the number 8 point I have here is grace and patience on you, like having grace and patience on myself. As I said in the previous point, that talking about taking a step each day is practicing to be patient. Sometimes you plan to do some things in one day, in 1 year, but I always say, typically for those who have ever built, even if it's a small building, not really a big house, you always realize that your estimate is never accurate. You think maybe you need 2 bags of cement or 2 wood, but by the time you start building, you see, no, it was not 2 exactly, or the price you thought is not exactly that price. So having that grace to say, oh, that is applicable in every area in your life. God can give you a message, and that's why I see also people like falling on, oh, this pastor said this prophet said this. You need to understand that even if God tells you something, as I said earlier in the case of David, David, of course, was anointed. After anointed as a king, remember there was a king already. There was a king when he was anointed king. So obviously the same thing with you. God wants you to be in a level, but there are some things you need to still take care of. So are we patient enough? So it's something I learned, like give more grace to myself, forgive myself for things I mess up, and like pour more love for myself and accept that I made mistakes, and for things that are taking me a longer time to do, have more patience with myself. And those are really things that I tell you, if you ever have anxiety issues, it's something that I encourage you to practice. Like it's going to definitely help you. Sometimes we take a lot of medications on things that we just need to learn, or some things we just need to change, some things we need to put away. We sometimes want to hurry God, but we forget that God does not work on time, but God created time. He does not work on your time. God is not looking, it's 1 a.m., it's 2014. God does not work like that. So if you don't understand it, you continue to say, God, 1 hour has gone, 1 day has gone. I've been in this situation for 10 years since I was born. But God does not work like that. So if God wants to do something now, He's doing now. And even if He's saying now, and that now happens, like in the case of Abraham, God said you're going to have a child. He said that, but that thing happened after how many years? 25. So go to every other great person, by the way, even Jesus. Jesus knew he was coming to save, but sure, he didn't know he had to go exactly through the process. That's why somebody said, God show us the destination, but he does not show us the process. Like if you're intentional, living intentional, you see that there's some things that you didn't expect. It's like, and those all moments. But also, if you're very intentional about living in the now, you see that even those all moments, at the end of the day, you always have something to be grateful for. Like, oh, great time because you paid attention to every details. So that is number 8. Number 9, once you're patient with yourself, don't take everything for granted, because sometimes as humans too, we take a lot of things for granted for true people. Like there are sometimes that, like, you have, let me give example, you have some great people taking care of you. Some of us are blessed to have our parents and family taking care of us. Even at the age of 30, who feel it's their responsibility to take care of us. That is dangerous. Or like you have someone showing up every time. You feel that person is supposed to show up, you don't do anything. So in general, in life, that goes to you, whatever we are doing. We want to make sure that as we are patient with ourselves, we don't take those time for granted. We don't just be patient and relax forever. So we want to make sure we do necessary adjustment and corrections. If we need to keep optimizing, we need to keep adjusting. It's as simple as that. If you want to keep optimizing, you have to keep adjusting. If you learn and you don't apply it, you've wasted your time. So that knowledge is useless. Knowledge without implementation is useless. So if you read 10 books, the 10 books say to listen. This is one thing you have to do. You have to pay attention to every details and don't interrupt, don't do this. You learn those things theoretically and you don't apply them. You waste your time. It's useless. So, of course, as we sit down to analyze ourselves, we sit down to get direction, to set the goals. We want to also see those things we can adjust, maybe in our daily routines. Maybe that some people are sleeping 8, 9 hours, and you need to do the adjustment of reducing your sleeping time. It's that simple. Yeah, so sometimes we are looking for jobs, but God is giving us other opportunities, and we have been rejected because we have put God in this box that God has already give us a job, or God has to give us already particular job. And we forget that sometimes we have to be carpenters, sometimes we have to start producing tents, sometimes we have to do different things and God show up. Sometimes you have to be like Ruth to go to the farm and picking strawberries, pick different things, and God can use that to bless you. But we want to sit and pray for miracles to meet us in our homes. We want to sit and wait for miracles to meet us in our comfort zones, on our beds, sleeping and just praying, speaking in tongues. Guys, we have to upgrade, right? Something have to change. That's what creative and independent mind is all about. We have to be looking at those things that, hey, what can I do better? That's what it is. What can I do different? What can I change? How can I change? Thank you so much, Faye, for joining, and thank you for your compliment. So, we being intentional about that as a person, guys, that is something that really helps me. Because I mess up sometimes. I'm not the person who claims like I'm perfect. I get to figure out. Sometimes I do some things that I knew. The thing is, I try not to be in that regret space. That's what I think a lot of time people get it wrong. The fact I don't stay in regret space doesn't mean I didn't. There's some presentations that, for example, I pronounce a word that which I didn't pronounce perfectly, and I realized that later. But I'm like, it's what it is. Like next time I move on. So we have to be very open for adjustments, but you want to adjust in accordance to, not adjusting because this work can adjust you to their tone. That's something I've realized. Like God says, fake it till you make it. But the world say fake it till you make it. And majority of the time, what do people tell you? Fake it. They don't tell you fake it. They tell you fake it till you make it. Why? And we don't realize that that is an adjustment that the world wants you to conform to that standard. So there are a lot of things that when you want to go in detail, people feel like, oh, you have to do this before you do it. But that is adjustment from the world. And it's not those type of adjustment I am personally talking about. I'm talking about with your goals, with your specific objective, with your journey. Sometimes you can adjust your sleeping time. Sometimes you can adjust what you eat. Sometimes you can adjust when you eat. So there's so many levels of adjustment. If you want a better 2024, what intentionally we all can do is adjust some things, some of the daily routines we have. You get up, you have 24 hours, you sit, you're only waiting for a job, but God has given you a talent. What are you doing with that talent? God has given you amazing skills. You went to school, you studied. A lot of us are focused with our certificates. Oh, I have a BSc in this, I have a PhD in this. A part of the PhD paper, what are you doing with the knowledge? How do you apply that knowledge in your day-to-day activity? How many of us think in that direction? So those are the adjustments I'm talking about. Don't only feel like somebody have to employ you for you to apply what you learned in school. What are you doing, or what can you do with regards to the things you've studied? Oh, I've seen people. I'm a marketer. I have a BSc in marketing. My question to what are you doing with your marketing skills? Mostly in this generation where you have the media space that you can use your talent and all your skills, your gifts, whatever, and employ yourself, and you are being paid. But no, some of us have focused so much on the one the way has shaped. You need to be in this country. You need to have these papers. You need to have the PhD. You have that. That is what they have set for some people, not for us, not for me. So that is the standard they've said. Oh, you must do this. You must do that. But truly, many of us have tried that. Has it worked? Some people are like, this is what they say, but this is not what I'm getting. So I'm just saying that adjustments for me is something that we don't do it once, we do it every day, every minute, every second. So once you continuously adjust whatever you're doing, whatever how you think, you definitely see that you are upgrading. So if we all can practice these things now, start doing these simple steps I'm sharing. If you have not been doing, just try it. There's no harm. Try it and give me your feedback. By the way, come January, come our next session, next Saturday. That will be already 2024. So guys, are we together? So are there some people ready to practice these stuff, by the way, or these tips? Like if you have not been practicing, or if you have been practicing but in a relaxed way, are we able to intensify it just for this week? Then we share our thoughts, we share our feelings, how much it will difference, or if we don't see any difference. Are we ready to do that and share with us next week? Next week is going to be already New Year. Some people New Year end on the 1st of January, but trust me, the whole of January for me is New Year. Just like my Christmas has not ended, but some people Christmas celebration already ended. And Christmas for me is celebrated every day. Christ was not born just so we celebrate the birth of Jesus every day. So this is to say, no matter how much we may want to talk, no matter how much we may want to share, it still depends on you who is listening, what you're going to do with this information. It's been an amazing day. It's been a long one. It's been awesome. And we have stayed in a regular time, well, to be sure, because I have to, my laptop has a different time for now, and my phone has a different time, just to be able to have time from different location, but I may change it subsequently. So good. So it's been an amazing session, and the hope is that we all will make use of this session to make 2024 better and the best of all our years joined together, and create a foundation for a better life, better legacy, better impact, better value, and continuously grow to be who we truly want to be, to be who we are. Because sometimes we don't even, some of us don't even know who truly we are, but we know what people have said we are or what we want to show, but we don't know truly what we are. So continue to discover ourselves. So to go home, I promised I was going to, for those who saw the flyers, that we're going to have 10 of the tips or 10 of the strategies, which I on the flyer we said strategies. So I've shared 8. And some people have shared 2, but it's okay. I'll still give my other 2. And I had one bonus for us. So for number 9, I have necessary. Okay, I've given 9 already. That is good. So because necessary adjustment is number 9. So number 10, put God first always. So number 10 normally is number 1 for me. put God always, because we live in a world, as I said, there's a lot of distractions, and sometimes we feel we know it all. We feel this is what we needed. Actually, we come and realize it's not really what we needed. So, for me, I hate to waste time. I hate to waste time. So if I hate to feel I was cheated, I hate to feel I wasted my time on anything, any relationship, any situation, anything, like trying to figure out something that in the first place I necessarily didn't need how to figure it out. So time for me is very, very precious. And I believe it should be for everybody, because time is something we can't buy with money. So we should treat time more valuable. But most of the time, you see, we treat more money. And you can understand the importance of time when you understand God and you understand who you are. Once you understand that you're perfectly made, you don't need to do any waste your time doing anything to be impressed, to be made perfect. You obviously understand that each minute now is just to serve in your perfection, not by sight, by faith. So putting God first is something that changed my life. I used to, of course, like everybody, go to church, do, but by the time I was by 2017, I discovered another level of peace, joy, and contentment that comes when you're intentional. Say, okay, God, I don't know it, or show me, teach me, lead me. That's what putting out God first is all about. It's not like God, because some of us have a transactional relationship with God that only tell God, oh God, I need this. When you need something, you pray. That is when some of us know God, but that's not the type of relationship I'm talking about. Having, let me give an example. If I go to my parents, I can go directly into their room and get anything. But not everybody can enter the house and do that. So that is the same way I check our relationship with God. I know things I can just tell God, like the way I talk with God, or those who are intentional, who have a relationship with God, the type of access they have. And when even when your father say, hey, go back, go and keep that thing, or your mom tell you, or your grandmom say, no, go back. The way you understand it is different from somebody who will say, oh God, I pray for God for this and he denied me. Why? Because you don't have that intimacy. So you don't know when he rejects and why he rejects. So that is why it's very important to put God first and not just have a transactional relationship, because he may not even give you all the time. Yeah, he may not. He may not give you. And he may not give you what when you want. So my bonus to everyone is continue to learn and empower yourself. That's my bonus to everyone. I had 10, but I had to put the one which is in line with what Franklin and Omar said. A lot of us typically, as my continental people, we the black people, we don't listen. We don't learn. That's why we can repeat the same mistake that someone repeat. We keep repeating the same thing. You understand? A lot of time, let me give an example, like a lot of people live beyond what they earn. And sometimes it's like a habit. Like as I said, that books that say Africans we are typically consumers. We are not producers. What does that mean? We have a lot of natural resources, but a future why we think we must still relocate abroad, or we have greener things are better abroad than we who have the natural resources. You come back to say is firstly because we have that consumer. We want different people to produce the things for us to consume. We don't have that mindset. So it's a mistake, right? But we keep doing the same thing. So learning is that something that gives you, because even what I said, as I said earlier, well, everything I'm going to say today or everything I've said today, not everybody will understand, and we understand it from different angles, different perspective, which is okay. For us to upgrade, we have to keep learning. Some things you don't know, you have to ask, you have to learn. That's where listening comes in. Some people have been talking about you see me, for those who don't know, I'm a financial consultant, but I did science. I'm a scientist, so I'm still saying, it's not like I did say I'm a scientist. That's my career direction, more is more in the science. But why do I add other things? It's because I realize a lot of times if you just focus on one in a world that is highly diversified, if you just focus on one algorithm, you may miss a lot of other things happening. So it's very important to know what you're lacking. Like, okay, maybe I'm informed about plants. I'm informed about what happened in the human system. But how am I informed about what happened in the money system? So those are things that you don't just sit and you know. You have to learn. And if you don't know, you have to contact those who know to help you. And that is to say to end this year different for those mostly who are struggling with finances, planning, budgeting, investing, how to build your legacy, how for those in the US tax, how to prepare your tax, how to minimize and make sure you're paying the actual tax you're supposed to pay, not more than what you're supposed to pay. Feel free to book an appointment with me. Um, Actually, I'm available Monday to Saturdays. I generally don't work on Sundays, so the earlier the better. Yep. For how to book an appointment, the link, you can feel free to message me depending on wherever you're connecting from. Because as I said, some of us may keep having the same challenges. You may go to school, you have two PhDs, but financially you're sick. You know what I mean? You're making the money, but you're still in that cycle that if you don't earn, you'll be depressed. You may not even have a house to stay in. That is a reality that sometimes we make the mistake, like I say, Africans are continent. We make one of that mistake to think you have to pray for money to appear. No, money is a concept. Money is not a physical thing you see. Like I also do with crypto, so I can talk with money in different aspects to say if you're in a crypto way, you see you never hold that those coins physically, right? Those things are digital. So if you know that you can make money from dealing with those coins, you never touch them. That is to tell you that money is a concept, it's not the physical coins or paper you hold. And if you don't understand the concept of money, you continue to be a slave for money. Many of us enslave ourselves for money without knowing. So this year we should not, or 2024 should not be, we should not be in that cycles, mostly if you're connected to me. You should not be in that cycle of just feeling you have to work your entire ass life and everything or forgo every goal just because you want to make it financially. No matter where you are, you can still connect to me. No matter where you are, there are different options. It's just information, as I said. So that's what my last bonus is. This is my bonus, by the way, is to say it's just we all have to keep learning. I personally learned a lot about money. Like there's a book called The Retirement Miracle. That taught me a lot to know how people retire in America, like different things. And I see a lot of people, for example, use IRAs. But guess what? Those who did that retirement miracle understand that IRA came to solve a problem, but IRA alone is not the best. So some people love this. So those are different things that those who are employees will know that they'll tell you, oh, the best have this. Those things are good, but are they the best? What are they? Can they get you that pro? You know, when you use, for example, you have a Robin oil. Robin oil can be good, or a lotion, whatever. It can be good for me, not for you. So what is good for you may not be good for me. So it's just the same application everywhere. This, for example, IRA may be good for someone who already has a good investment or have this and this, but for those who want some type of legacy, you have to think better. You have to upgrade. That's just what we're saying, right? You want to make sure you're not using the regular one that they told you. You want to make sure you're using the updated version. You cannot be using the phones with that the screen whatever in this generation if you can afford a better one, right? So that is just what I'm saying. It's not just about who is producing, is this Samsung, but no, it's about the property and the function of the phone. You can't be using a phone that does not enable you to use some applications like WhatsApp and maybe Zoom when you can afford. Get my word, afford, because sometimes we take off the cute things. If you can't afford, it's okay. Use what you have now, but work to upgrade. So no pressure on anybody. The year does not end, life does not end in 2023. So if life was not the best, we all have that opportunity to make it better. We all have that opportunity to upgrade and do better things this coming year. So wish us all the best. And at this moment I want to say a happy new year. I know this is actually a last session for this amazing year 20 2023. And thank you for you all. You are the reason I am here every Saturday. You are the reason I feel motivated myself, because obviously I always say it's always a learning session for me, because these are like my words of affirmation. These are like me communicating with my spirit. Yes, it's often said the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. So to tell my flesh, hey, you have to obey. Is saying these things, sharing with you guys, and enforcing repetition makes it permanent. So that is what how helpful it is to me, and it's always a blessing to see that other people connect to what I say, other people who share amazing things, other people who think the way I think, other people who share this love and their light, which is really amazing. And I look towards us doing better. For those who have never seen their face on this page, I want to see your face, or on this program. We want to see all of your faces. Are you guys not bored seeing my face every day? I want to see other people's amazing faces. So, okay, for those who may want to be seeing me in person, who are around me, maybe by February we'll see how we have those in-person sections. So let's see how it goes. But for now, let's have it online, remotely, or visually, whatever for now. But let's see by February if we can invite people in person. So, guys, it's been so amazing. Thank you all. Thank you, my brother Terence is saying thank you very much. White Tesla was an amazing session. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, everyone, and I wish every one of us. Some people were already maybe eating their chicken, but hopefully they get this message and upgrade. So the wish for everybody is an upgrade, not just a new year, but an upgraded new package for the year 2024. And that the main content, the main person who's going to handle the package is you. So indirectly I'm wishing directly I'm wishing everybody a better version of themselves. And that comes with work. So let's do the work as we pray. Let's be working in that direction. Let's not just pray and wish amen, shout amen, hallelujah. Let's all work in that direction. Let all of us be intentional to bring in that upgrade, and not just sit and pray, and not just sit and wait on the Lord. But what we do in the waiting season is very important. That is what I'm emphasizing on this session of today. So if you go home and you don't want to get anything, just know that we want everybody to do something intentionally. So the intentional things you can do, I've given a couple of steps, a couple of tips, whatever you want to call them. So I hope we all can implement and practice, if not all, some of them for better year ahead. Wish us all the best. Stay blessed. Any question, by the way, before I disappear? Any question, guys? Any question, any remark then. So just a reminder, please feel free to share with us. It's been a year, we've been working it. Like, what compared to last year, what did you think changed? What do you think we did better? Or what do you think we didn't do very well compared to what we're doing? And also share with us what you hope we do some adjustment, because I receive a lot of feedback from amazing people. Like, there are people I know, a lot of people have told me to do like the vlog where I have to be working, doing other things. And as I said, my case is a little bit tricky. Like, it's not like every other person that you just follow what you want to get more views. It's tricky when you're working in the year of God's light. So I have to emphasize on that. So that goes to you too. Whatever your goals for this year is going to be, it's important to receive and listen from other people, but you need, as we talked about the limits, you need to know how much you want to share. So that's why for now, of course, you've had few videos that were not me in the house, even me somewhere else. So you're going to have some of yours again, you're going to have maybe more, but we just want to be intentional to know how much of those videos and what type and what location, to make sure that we are in line, sorry, with what we're supposed to be doing, and make sure we don't get distracted with what is trending and what brings in more how they call it, more views. Yeah, because definitely when you're doing content, you want more people to view your content is good, but sometimes also it's a distraction to the wide message, because some people may tend to follow just what bring the content. So we are just staying in that direction. So keep praying for us as well, so that we don't miss it. Keep praying for us to bring more amazing content. God has been giving us these messages in different ways, and we are really grateful. And we know He is faithful and He's going to give us more. So we want to continue to give all glory to Him and not me. Yeah, because all the message I gave, as I always say, is God that gives us. I've never struggled with, hey, I don't have topic or I don't have a discussion, what we can discuss. So it's something I want everybody to thank God for. Thank God for message. Thank God for opportunity to share. Thank God for this platform. Thank God for this program. And please continue to feel free to share with us your thoughts. Stay blessed. Enjoy the season. Enjoy the moment and make maximum use of God's amazing ways. Bye bye.